Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2024. And I'm here with myself and my lovely partner, Aida, for our first Ascension Podcast of the brand new year, which is an 8-year, which is abundance and prosperity and infinity and much bigger changes. And coming out of that introspection that last year provided being a 7-year. So before we get on to everything and in the intricacies of what this year may bring, just introduce my lovely partner, Aida. How are you?
Hey, beautiful. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. We're so excited to be able to bring this to you and raise consciousness and awareness of, spiritual awakening that is happening on a global level, that's happening on a personal level, and being able to be a source of guidance for you through this so that you can navigate your spiritual awakening or raise your level of consciousness and awareness with planetary stuff as well as what's going on internally at this time. So we really love being valued mentors and ascension guides for you and for ourselves and for humanity. So really looking forward to bringing this to you much more on a regular basis.
Absolutely. So what is this year going to bring? Let's get straight into it. Well, the first thing for us, we're actually at a 4-day festival from tomorrow down in Bangalow, which is in northern New South Wales. Starting the year off as we mean to carry on, busy, empowering others, serving others, and going from there. So it's a 4-day festival. We're there doing readings. We're there doing I'm doing a talk on empowered empaths. Aida's got a Kundalini Awakening. Is it a workshop or a course session? And we're also doing a mini version of our Calling in the One workshop, which we ran last year. It helps you bring in divine love within yourself so that it's much easier to attract that divine counterpart that we all crave, really. And there's going to be a lot of that coming in this year, which is great. It's going to be a much more beautiful year than last year. Last year was, because it was a much more introspection year, it was a lot rougher for us in a way because we're having to clear out the old, prepare ourselves for 2024 and beyond so that we're ready to attract what we feel we deserve, what we know we deserve deep inside. And that beautiful sovereignty that we are, where we know our boundaries, we know how to ask what we want, we know how to say no, which is one of the most powerful words we can learn. And all the people pleasers would have had that strong test last year to learn how to say no. Which, for those that are people pleasers that are watching this, they know how difficult it is to say no, and that comes from self-worth as well. So there was a lot of self-worth lessons last year in regards to people pleasing. This year it's going to be very, very different. The self-worth is probably going to be more about abundance. What can you attract in? What you feel you deserve, on whether it's wealth and other things in that regard. So, absolutely.
And looking at the energetics of this year, we completed 2023. The last 3 weeks were in a Mercury retrograde. Mercury was actually in retrograde. And what that means, it feels like the planet is actually going backwards. And Mercury is the planet of communication and all of our electronics, equipments and things. So we completed that and it went direct again on the 1st of January. So we're still in the shadow phase period of that, if you wish. So this is such a powerful time for you to do a collective of your own lessons of 2023. I would highly encourage you to do this powerful and simple ritual that I complete every year. And I did mine yesterday, and I've yet to complete it because there's a few more things that I'm wanting to add, where you write down all of the things that happened for you in 2023. And it just enables you to go, okay, there was some big stuff. And a lot of people came to us with some big stuff that was happening in their lives, because 7 is a year that you're on the right path and it's time for you to pivot, right? So it really enabled you to do that so that you can be in soul alignment for this 8th year. And then when Mercury goes direct, or after you've done a collective of all the things that happened in 2023, then I go, all right, what are the lessons? What was the gold in that? What did I discover about myself? And like Roy said, being able to speak up was also teaching you to have boundaries. It was activating your voice chakra. And the only people who don't appreciate boundaries are those who were taking advantage of them. So you really get to find your tribe through that process and being okay with letting people, things, jobs go that do not serve you, right? And then you want to celebrate. Okay, what were some of the amazing things that happened through 2023, including those lessons, including those experiences? And then through that process, you can then go, all right, this is the essence, epitome of 2023 for me. Then what's my intention for 2024? How is those things that I learned in 2023, how can I shift so that I can be in my power in 2024? We're both providing a lot of mentorship and readings at this time of year and moving through the first chapter of this year, because, many of us believe that 2024 doesn't actually begin until a little bit later in the year, but that's okay. Middle of Feb for many, depending on the cycle that you go with.
April.
But even with the energetics, this is meant to be a dragon year, like for Chinese zodiac, right? So if you're a dragon, this is going to be a really powerful year for you to be in your power, right? And even if you're not a dragon, or if you don't even know anything about Chinese horoscopes or any of this, it's okay, because what it does, it really empowers you. It's really going to, spirit is constantly communicating with us. So it's going to be edging you slowly, gently until you stop listening. And then the gentle becomes a little bit more of a I told you so moment, right? Yeah. Before the tower hits. But then it's okay, I need to get into my alignment. It's clearing out anything that is not in alignment. And we've had a lot of talks in the last few days and last couple of weeks about the energy of 2024, and it's going to be accountability.
Yeah, and authenticity as well. So just adding further on to the dragon stuff that Aida was just talking about, dragon energy in itself is one of owning your power and a really strong communication, that fire breath, that learning not to burn people with it, including yourself. So when you're in your authentic power with the dragon energy, you've got really clear boundaries, really clear communication, and nobody knows, or people know not to mess with you, because they know you can stand with your boundaries, and if you need to, breathe that fire and protect yourself and protect your boundaries, protect your self-worth, and speak up about them, and again, learn how to say no. So then moving into 2024 with this authenticity and accountability that's coming in, it started coming in at the end of 2023. It was more getting lessons about who around us isn't authentic. And we've been speaking a lot about that. We're mentors. We mentor the mentors. And a lot of the mentors that we guided last year, it was like, you're trying to help people doing this, but you're not doing that yourself. So the energy you're putting out is inauthentic. So it's like a health coach that's overweight, for instance, or a mindset coach that's always negative. It's whatever, if you've stepped into coaching last year and you're trying to help people move beyond trauma and you're not working on your own, there's the inauthenticity. Or you might have come across mentors that you used to go to, and for some reason, energetic it will be, is you've noticed that going, hang on a minute, something doesn't resonate here.
Haven't grown.
They, I'm feeling something, they used to help me, and now not, because you've probably grown and they might not have done it, or you're moving on to a different level. Sometimes it might just be simple as you're moving on to a different level, and it just means you just need a different coach. It doesn't mean to say the coach you were seeing or mentor you were seeing is inauthentic. It just means you need different teachings. And that's part of the authenticity, is recognizing within yourself, instead of always going to what you know, trusting intuition and going, okay, is this person right for me now? It might just be one session that might not be right for you. Is this food right for me? Is this job right for me? Is this car right for me? Everything in your life is going to start talking this year energetically, and you're going to start cleaning house if you haven't already started doing so. So the house you're living in might not feel right anymore. And the authenticity comes in where you go, well, I know it doesn't feel right, so how do I change it? What's the process I need to do to change this? And 2024, and because 2024 is this abundance number, this number 8, the resources are all going to be there, whether that's financially, societal, friends, family. The resources are going to be there We just got to have faith and trust that even if we can't physically see it there in the moment, it's definitely going to be there.
And that's a real challenge, if you so wish, for many when they are manifesting. They're so focused on what is or what's past that the magic is truly in being able to call in and know what's already yours. Yeah. And that's the surrendering to spirit. And what we mean by the year of abundance, if you look at the number 8, it looks like the infinity symbol, right? So when we speak of accountability and authenticity, it's, if you so wish, it's the law of cause and effect, also lovingly known as karma, right? And we mustn't fear karma, because karma is simply cause and effect. For every action, there is a reaction. And my loves, you cannot have this massive cosmic event, or you can't be doing this one thing and expect something different to come back in return. It's not how the laws of the universe operate, right? And so it's enabling you to up level when we're talking about authentic or coaches or being in alignment with what it's like, people that are like, do as I say, but not as I do. That's really going to become very, very clear in 2024. You're going to really obviously see what people are speaking and what they're doing. And if their actions are not aligning, then it is up to you. You can either use it as permission to also not be in alignment, not be authentic, and not do your truth, or you can use that to be permission to step into your power, to level up, and to walk away from anything that is not for your highest level good. Because if that's your path and that's what you're choosing, and let me tell you, my loves, it is our path for us to be authentic, to be always connected to our highest level self, to always have our mission, soul, dharma in alignment. Yeah, and we mustn't be afraid of that, because the universe will always support you. The universe always has your back when you are living your soul mission. And the difference of knowing whether you are or not is contrast. Contrast gives you clarity. And if you're feeling pain, discomfort, dis-ease, you are not in alignment. And yes, we know personally what that's like, which is why we've done the high yards. You said this beautiful saying yesterday, which I'll allow you to, ask you to share in a moment.
What was it again?
Yeah, just call it in, darling. You've got this. You've got this.
That was so good.
So we've done the hard yards so that you don't have to. We've walked the dark path so you don't have to. So we can be that shining light on your dark pathway, so that you don't have to go and do all of the hard things. And yes, we always call in the lessons that our souls required for our experiences in this lifetime. But we've done the hard things so you don't have to, so we can be that guiding light for your pathway. So utilize that to your best advantage. And this year we'll be providing mentoring programs. Our mystery school will be open in a couple of weeks so that we can help you shine a light on your path. So not telling you where to look, not telling you where to go, we're going to invite you to dive in and empower you to do so that you can be on your pathway, so that you can live your mission and activate that to your highest level timeline in the quickest timeline possible and fast track you.
Yeah. There's, as it says in a few films, one of the most famous ones where it says there's a difference between knowing your path and walking your path.
Yeah.
2024 is really going to encourage you to start walking it. To start to walk, you walk, talk, you talk. It's all well and good sitting at home on your computer, on all social media, saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and pretending that you're in this abundant lifestyle, and then at home, you're in debt, you've got no clients, and you're just pretending on social media. And it's like, well, and you're trying to call in clients because you're just a pretend mentor on social media. And then as soon as they turn up, they're looking at you going, well, how can you help me when your life's not in order? And that's not just necessarily coaches and mentors, even something as simple as hairdressers, where if they're not looking after their hair and they're trying to do hair each day, this level of authenticity is going to start coming in, because we're all being empowered to our highest level self. And you can only get there by walking you walk and talking you talk.
Doing the work.
And doing the work. So interesting enough, that saying that came to me yesterday, I knew if I didn't write it down, it would just go. And I got sidetracked, didn't write it down, and now it's gone. That's my level of accountability. I know my patterns, and I didn't do it there and then because I think I was doing something else.
Getting ready for dinner.
Well, yeah, but even something simple as that, I should have stopped, done that, because what I was doing was not important enough to not stop doing it. You know, I think we're cutting up the veggies or something like that. So I could have easily, but again, it's me setting my boundaries to go, hang on a minute, darling. I've just got to write this down because you know if I don't, it's going to go. Yeah. And it's also up to my lovely partner as well to recognize that in me and encourage me, saying, look, you need to, look, I don't care how much I need that chopping right now, you need to do that. It's going to take you 30 seconds, not even that. And it's that level of accountability, that level of awareness of self on the smallest things, because it's easier to notice the big things in ourselves, you know, and in others. But the little things is that's what fills in 95% of the gap. You get a jar and get your normal size jam jar and get some mothballs and put that in. That's your big things. You'll have about 5 or 6 big things, but it's all the tiny stuff that fills up the rest of it, the sand and the grit and stuff like that. And showing that in your own life, you start to then look at the little things, because it is a really powerful saying as well. So I hope Spirit does bring it back. I mean, if you remember it, you can say it. I give you permission. You can have permission to say it. And I said, look, that needs to be said. It needs to be written down. It needs to be part of work copy on my website, because it was such a powerful statement. So powerful I can't remember it. And there's the comedy of 2024, you know, bringing all that in, and it's still part of the old, not an old part of me, but a normal part of me, just continuing. And it's up to me, and again, that's accountability, to recognize that, tweak it, maybe even eradicate it,
and be okay with it.
Be okay.
And that's the thing with, if you're stepping into a new level, and when Roy's saying, you know, if you're a pop-up coach, and we're saying that you've done a weekend course and you've decided that this is the pathway, if you're not investing in yourself, time, money, energy, and effort, then how are you expecting others to do so? And in paying you well-earned money, so to speak, if you're not doing the same thing for you, if they don't feel that you're doing the same level of work, if not more, then your clients will always be your greatest mirrors. And I love that, because I spent the first 10 years of much of my, when I was coaching, when I was mentoring, I still am, but it was like, they were just perfect shadows, perfect. And I invited it in. But the thing is, I also had a mentor that I would like build and grow and develop with. And they shifted so quickly, because the same mentor that I started with 10 plus years ago is not the same mentor I have now. And they morph and change very rapidly, because my level of growth and what I'm bringing and doing for humanity is at such a rapid rate. I need to ensure that if my leaders are not growing, then I need to move. I'm not keeping myself stuck or small anymore because my mentor is not growing as much as I need them to. And nor can one person, and this is in relationships too, be everything that you need for them. Yeah. I'm not expecting Roy to be my healer, my mentor, my guide, my lover, my housekeeper and house room. You can please be one of these things, right? But he's not meant to be all of those things for me, even though he's my relationship. He's my divine counterpart. I'm not expecting one person to feel all of those things, because it's impossible. And nor should you expect you to be that person for anyone else, let alone for your partner. And by doing so, you're trying to control, manipulate, and keep attachment, which is going to also be amplified this year, your attachment styles, your attachment energy, because things are going to move so rapidly this year and grow so freaking quickly, especially if you're in alignment, that we are collapsing timeframes. We are going to be really focused, and the energy is going to be so fast moving that flow. The moment you are attached to any one thing, the universe is going to rapidly remove it from you. And it's doing this for your highest level good. It's not doing this because it's teaching you a lesson or showing you anything that like nasty or not good for you. It's always good for you, to showing you your alignment. And that's the power of working with the laws of the universe, doing the ascension work, creating that level of consciousness and awareness to up-level humanity, your community, each other, and self. so that we can live in alignment, we can be supportive of each other, and we can raise this greater level of consciousness to the planet. Because the work you do on yourself is never unseen. It's never not worthy. It's always powerful.
Always seen, always added into the collective.
Ones. Yeah.
So what is coming in for 2024? Well, interesting enough, on the way out this morning, doing the groceries, getting ready for the festival, his car goes past, and its number plate was RAN, but it was ring 55, which means the changes, ringing in the changes. That's saying 55 is the angel number for changes, for those that are wondering what the 55 is about. And it was a golden car as well. And the interesting thing about that is, it's like, that's what 2024 is about. It's where, like, 2019, like 2020 brought in changes, but putting us through quite a challenging period for a couple of years, that the great, the world being put into lockdown and all those things. Well, everything that was done to the collective that year is going to flip. There's going to be another similar year to 2020, but this time it's going to more serve the collective, serve the people. And that's also going to happen on the microcosm. So on the macrocosm, that's the microcosm, that's the collective, it's starting to come to the surface about the virus wasn't what it said it was. And there's a lot of people going down legal channels to prove that point. A lot of doctors being able to come forward because they're not getting silenced anymore. All those things are starting to happen in the collective now. And that's not conspiracy, that's actual fact these days. So I don't feel I'm speaking out of turn, but I don't need to delve into that rabbit hole either, because that rabbit hole's not there anymore. It's all pretty much at the surface. So that's the major collective. But where it comes to self, where you've been underhanded or where you've been doing good things, that's where the reward or the karma, as Aida put it, the cause and effect comes in. So people are going to get found out this year on both positive and negative, and that's where the accountability is going to come in, because you've got to clear those lessons to be able to step into your greatest version of self anyway. Where you have basically self-sabotaging, that lesson's got to be learned so that you can clear that, move beyond that, and then step into the greatest version of self, so you can help raise the vibration of Mother Earth through your own light, through shining your light and shining your gift. Everyone's got a unique gift for this planet. You can evolve out of self-sabotaging behavior. I'm not going to say bad behavior, because it's not your self-sabotaging behavior, or you don't believe you deserve something, so you act accordingly to that. Well, we're being encouraged to start shifting that, and the right mentors and coaches will come along, and also the wrong ones will. The tests will come, and it's like, well, is that person just a mirror reflection, or is that a person that can help me evolve to the next level? That's the main question you ask yourself for any internal work. Right, I feel I'm getting drawn to this person. Is it I'm being drawn to this person for a mirror lesson, so I can externally see what's really going on? Or are they actually someone that can help me evolve past that moment? And so introspection is still going to be there this year, but it's going to be in a more external, accountable way. And we're going to see it in the mainstream, and we're also going to see it in our own life. We're going to see it in our friends, family, and everything. So much is going to get brought to the surface. Stuff hidden from 20 years ago is going to start coming. Get ready. It's going to be a massive year of change, but positive. That's going to make the world a much, much better place. Like what I felt coming in at the end of 2019, I knew something big was coming, and I had exactly the same feeling, but on the opposite side of the coin.
And not to be afraid of karma, like referring back to what I was saying before, and accountability, right? Because we used to be the days where it's like, if something was being noticed or seen. It's like, oh, we start pointing the finger externally, right? Oh, it's because of them, or they did it, or this happened because of that. And we start pointing the finger externally because we feel vindicated that way, or it absolves us in some way. However, this year is going to be about self-mastery, because that is how you be in your sovereignty, is by having self-mastery. That is self-awareness, self-responsibility, self-discipline, and self-action, right? That means that anything that we have done leading up into this very moment, to this very second, you're taking full responsibility for. And I know that's going to ouch. I know that's going to hurt a lot. And I've had to bite my pride in my past for that as well. You know, it's so easy to blame somebody else or point the finger because we don't want to feel this, feel like we have to take responsibility for that behavior. But the power that comes from taking full responsibility for anything and everything, because we have chosen that lesson at a highest level or some level. But the way that we release the karmic energy, and we were talking about soul fragment retrieval yesterday, and the importance of that is then going, okay, I am claiming full responsibility for my part in this experience, in this action, for this reaction, and the lessons I've learned from this, and then doing the self-forgiveness protocol. That is how we release karmic energy. It's how we learn. It's how we reclaim our sovereignty, not by because of you, because of you, because of the world, because of the leaders, because of others, because of my upbringing. No. Full sovereignty is me taking full responsibility. Full mastery is full self-awareness.
How did I create this?
So powerful, yeah. And then choosing the way, because there is only fear and love, and I've spoken about this for decades. Yeah, and all those factors that Roy put in earlier, spoke of earlier, it's because if we either choose fear, we choose love. The moment we step into love, we're stepping into our highest level self, we're stepping into being in sovereignty, we're stepping into working and co-creating with the universe, God, source, higher levels of dimensions. Then that is true power, that is true sovereignty. And I mean power in the most enlightened, sovereign way, and not ruling over others and being able to boss or any of that action. It's having sovereignty over self. Yeah, Lao Tzu speaks beautifully as, power over others is power, but power over oneself is full mastery. Right? That's true meaning of power. Knowing your response to any event, experience, action. And that's how we release karmic energy. It's like, I'm taking full responsibility. I've learned these lessons and I am choosing to change that cycle. And action is how we make that change.
And we'll definitely be encouraged energetically. I'm going to say forced, actually. Our energy is getting stronger. Our intuition is getting stronger. And once intuition starts running the show, we start to see things that we can't unsee. We start to make realizations that we know actually within ourselves we've been blocking out for years, months, weeks, however long, that simply refuses to be hidden anymore. And planetary, Jupiter's gone direct now.
Yeah. So
Jupiter in astrology, he's the secret keeper. He's the underworld guy. So the fact that he's now direct, that's why all these secrets, hidden stuff within our life and the collective is going to start bubbling to the surface. They've been bubbling to the surface through last year, to be fair, but now more of the collective, more of the mainstream's gonna start seeing it. The challenge really is, let's talk individually, is the things we've been hiding in ourselves is going to boil to the surface. Yeah. Now, if you've been doing a lot of work, then it's not going to be much of a transition because you're already in the flow of that. You already know how to deal with your shadow. For those that have been bottling things below, accountability is just going to push it all to the surface. So for some, it will be a very, very challenging year. I mean, some of the readings I was doing at the weekend, quite a few of them are going to redo 2023 just at a deeper level. And it's almost like that. And I said to them, so you're not a year behind, you're just going to a deeper level, because that's your journey to self-love and a greater version of self, a more empowered self. So that then whatever it is your gift is in this life, whether you're an artist, a hairdresser, a spiritual mentor, carpenter, whatever gift it is that's going to give to the planet is going to come to the surface. It's going to be able to be held and performed at a much greater level. That, the Ring 55 number plate, ringing in the changes. If you've been working a mundane job that you don't like, well, the universe is going to crowbar you out of that and make you go, well, what is it you want to do? If money was no object, what is it you would want to do? That question's been asked eternally for hundreds of years, let alone the last few. But the energy behind it now is encouraging us to go, okay, I need to make changes. I need to do something that's more in alignment with my heart, my energy, my mind, my intuition, mind, body, spirit, soul, all aligning to create and work to become the perfect version of ourselves. This is 2024. This is the 8 year, the infinity. What we start, we complete.
Yeah. And that's such a powerful energy. What you start, you complete. And if you are one of those people that are in the habit of starting and not completing, and I used to be a project manager, so I used to see that a lot in corporate. But then there are people that we require on different levels. There are people who are great strategists, who are great starters. And then we need those that love the run of the mill, that are able to do the work like on the ground running. And then there are people who need to bring things to conclusion or completion, right? But where are you in life? Someone who starts something and never completes, like read a book and then put it down, and where that can be the same with your life lessons. Where do you start a cycle and like, oh, this is just too hard? I also teach health and wellness, and the amount of women or people in general, not just women, right? A lot of men come in too. Like, I want to start like new year, new me, healthy, happy, amazing. I always encourage like living with treating your body temple with the utmost love and respect, like you would a physical temple, right? But then they start a diet and they don't complete it because it's too hard, or, the self-sabotage comes in. And this is why things on a heart, mind, body, spirit level is so important. Looking at every pillar of your life, having really powerful, supportive mentors, guides who have done the work, continue to do the work, who can guide you on that pathway and beyond and beyond. Yeah, so that you can, and encourage you to stick to the plan. And where you fail for want of a better word, where your shortcomings are. It's like, okay, this is this and this, and this is what Roy is saying. It's like, okay, I know that, if I don't write something down, I'm going to forget it 5 minutes later. Okay, that's a pattern. 1, are you ready to let that go? Are you ready to let that pattern go? Are you ready to release self-sabotage? Are you ready to let go of that old version of you? Pointing the finger externally, or having the victim mentality. It's, oh, woe is me, everything happens to me. Are you ready to let that go? I got goosebumps down the back of my legs and arms and neck, right? Because then what does it look like to have let that go and to live in your highest level self? And that's the bit there that people are not quite ready or don't know how, my loves, to step into that power, to be fully okay with being unapologetic in your sovereignty and ruling supreme your life abundantly.
And it's okay to say to yourself, okay, I don't know I don't know what steps to take next, but what I can do is reach out and find someone who can help me.
Put it out to the universe.
You're not disempowering yourself by asking for help. You're actually empowering yourself massively. Like, there's that saying, one man's not an island. You cannot run your life, as Aida said earlier. You cannot run. If you know what you're not good at, find someone that can help, who can fill that, call in support. And this is what 2024 is going to be. Again, the abundance number. Abundance is not solo. Yeah. An 8 is 2 zeros really stuck together, or 2 3s back to back. If you split it down the middle, it's a combination of, you can find a 9 in it, you can find a 6 in it. It's almost a combination of all the numbers. So all blended into one. It's that support of them all. And also it's worth looking at what numerologically you are this year as well. So it's a universal 8 year, because you just take the year, 2024, and add them all together, it gives you the 8. But you're going to have depending what life cycle you're in as well, is going to come into play as well. But that's a whole different podcast again. We're not going to delve into that today. We're just really, what we're doing is being authentic and taking action. Our intention at the end of last year was to get the podcast regular, but other things came into play, and I'm not using those as an excuse. It's just that
we were just guided.
Yeah, we were following different paths.
Yeah.
We was actually doing a lot of backroom stuff, weren't we? Really, we was getting so much backroom stuff in place the last probably 3 months of the year. Interesting enough, while I was in rest mode, Spirit again. While you're in rest mode, you can get all the backroom stuff. You can get all the foundations, the programs that we use, and learning about how to use other platforms and things like this, and find the perfect ideal one so that we can pretty much start 2024 not necessarily running, but at least in the flow. So this is going to be a regular podcast every couple of weeks, there and thereabouts, because with festivals and clients and mentoring and stuff like that, it's going to flow a little bit, but every couple of weeks, that's the intention we're going to set, and we're going to try and stick. We're going to do our best to stick to. So saying that, this is our start to 2024. It's an 8 year, get ready. The changes are going to get rung in everybody's lives and the collective and the mainstream. Massive changes coming this year. So get ready. Don't panic. Don't drop into fear. Trust that it's all for the highest good of all involved, which is everybody. And hold yourself accountable for your own life, because that's all you can do anyway. So if you know you're overeating, start to make changes. Don't force yourself to change it overnight, because that's just simply too difficult.
Body goes into shock.
Give yourself time, even if it's a couple of years. So you set yourself a long-term goal, and invariably when you take the pressure off, that time frame actually happens a lot sooner. When you put the pressure on, you rarely get past what I term the New Year's resolution wall, because you get to the end of January going, it's too hard. No, because you've set unrealistic expectations of yourself. Knowing, that as Sun Tzu said, the art of war, know thy enemy. You are your enemy, and you know yourself better than anybody does. Yes, there's people like myself and Aida that can tune into your energy and help you see what's right under your nose. Even we both get lost there too. We both can't see things at times. So as much as we're not others, healers or guides or mentors, in moments we are. We know when to help each other. We know when to call upon each other, invariably. It's like, hey, look, darling, I can't figure this out. Can you help? Out come the cards. Or, okay, you got to trust that, I'm the power in this moment. You got to relinquish that control. Because this is ultimately as well, 2024 is about surrender. Surrendering to your higher self, surrendering to your journey, surrendering to your life path, surrendering to your soul's mission, surrendering to your soul contract. Allowing the universe to help and allowing the universe to flow. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what 2024 is going to be about. It's big changes that, as long as you surrender, should flow as seamless as you've chosen it to flow. The river never flows smooth all the time. The ocean is never calm all the time, because that serves nobody or nothing or no thing. There has to be storms to shake things up. And there's, the year literally ended and started with storms here on the Gold Coast anyway. We actually had a tornado roll through and cause a lot of devastation. Unfortunately for a lot of people on the mountain, those, are still finding the start of the year challenging in those regards. But even in those circumstances, when you're empowered, you can go, okay, how is this serving me? It could be that it's going, okay, it's time to move.
Sometimes storms come to clear your path.
Yeah, it could be going, okay, that part of the house needed complete renewing anyway. Okay, I did need to dig that garden up. How can you manipulate it to your positive?
Reflect.
How can you change on the surface of it, a dire circumstances from a destruction of a tornado, and make it a positive event for you? That's power.
And that's working in the laws of the universe. That's working with the universe, supporting you.
It might even be encouraging you to rely on the the local community. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, that's bringing you into community that you haven't really interacted with. It could be that two people that have lived on their own a lot come out into the community and meet, and the tornado got you two together.
Strange.
However you change it to be a very positive event is entirely on how you see it, how you believe it, and how you think and feel about it. If you just go, oh, it's ruined everything, it's broken everything.
And on the flip side of that, not having that toxic positivity either. Oh, everything's okay, and pretending that nothing's wrong. Toxic positivity, just as toxic as toxic negativity. So they're having a beautiful balance and seeing what truly is wanting to emerge to be seen. Yeah. So bless the storms in your life this year, because they'll shake things up exactly how they're meant to be shaken. Bless yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, flow with yourself, drive yourself forward to where you want to be. Take action and rest. Rest is still a thing that people don't understand the full power of it. 3 months rest I've had at the end of that, and I struggle with it at times, don't I? Again, that's me owning. I'm not here to hide anything. I struggled at times. I got annoyed and frustrated and was bitching at my spirit team. They didn't listen. They told you to rest.
Yeah. They reinforced saying, do we need to repeat ourselves? Point being is, I still honoured it most of the time.
Yeah.
So honour whatever your part of the journey is, and it will flow. You'll be supported. Throughout the whole time I was supported, financially and lovingly. So got to be grateful, really. And now this year it's time to take that opportunity and drive forward. I've built all the backroom stuff to be a bit more maybe social media or whatever it is. The purpose of all those things, they will come in time. And this will apply to all you watching too. All the things you were doing at the end of last year are going to start coming into fruition. All the things you've been building over the last few years are going to start to come into fruition this year. This is a year of fruition. It's abundance. The secrets are going, that Jupiter's not at play anymore. Jupiter's positive, Jupiter's gone direct.
It's positive.
So, those things that were holding you back that you couldn't see, which is normally spirit team holding you back because they can see everything, those things are not going to be held back anymore. The doors are going to get opened, the light's going to come through, and you're going to see the instructions. So, it's going to be a good year, as long as you do the work on yourself.
Absolutely. And flow. Just take each day and each moment, because it is obviously encouraging us to live more in the now and live from a space of love, reclaiming your sovereignty, being and developing self-mastery to the very best of your capacity with what you have and your knowledge here and now. And do that with love. Do that with so much love for self, with others, and again, not condoning behaviors or the spiritual bypassing, pretend it never happened, but really coming from that beautiful space of love and setting beautiful, powerful, strong boundaries. Really important. And we are here to be of service if we can support you in any way.
So if you're at that stage where you'd like to reach out and you need a mentor or a guide or a healer, we have many different modalities that we work with.
Tune in.
We'll be doing this every couple of weeks. I'll have some more banners to have our websites and stuff up next time. But that's okay. There's always progression. And thanks very much for tuning in, and share this around as much as possible. And if you're in the Gold Coast, Bangalow, Byron area over the next 4 days, come along to the Starlight Festival. There's so many speakers and healers and workshops on, and it'd be a great way to start the year and get guidance. Because interesting enough, I went to the Starlight Festival last year and was guided that a beautiful lady would be coming into my life, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then, by the end of January,
here I am,
and she's still here. I keep trying to. No, all joking aside, Yeah, I'm
The
glad.
universe puts you together
Yeah,
when
that's
it's
it. Yeah,
opportune and when it's right and when you've done the work.
yeah, exactly.
required.
And I had been calling the divine counterpart in, so got what I asked for.
Yeah. You're
2024,
welcome.
you're going to get what you asked for. And the universe is, sometimes I jokingly I call it an evil genie. Be careful what you ask for. Always reminds me of a Simpsons episode where he asked for a tuna sandwich and the tuna was slightly dry. He's like, "Oh, why do you mock me?" Because he didn't ask for a moist tuna sandwich, moist turkey sandwich. Sorry. So, and as much as that's kind of comedy and humor, the universe does listen to every word you say.
Yeah.
So make sure you pencil it in before you send a request out.
Well, contrast gives you clarity.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, next time I need to be a little bit more refined with my energy, with not just my asking, but my energy and the work that I'm doing. Because again, you can't say one thing and do another. You can't be calling in abundance and being scarce. You can't be calling in your divine counterpart and at the same time bitching about the opposite sex or the whatever about a partner and all the things that they've done wrong. We're attached to past partners where it hasn't worked out for whatever reason.
Or,
so
or you
the
can call
universe
it in.
is listening.
Or you call it in that monogamous long-term partnership, and you've still got 2 or 3 on the go.
Yeah,
because that's what you're telling the universe. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Just as an example.
For example. Right.
So anyway, thanks very much for watching our very first show of 2024, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Stay safe,
Stay
beloveds.
safe. Take care, and have a great start of the year.
Blessings.